This is how I clean my canned salmon. I always clean my salmon. Fish is fish and all fish needs to be cleaned. So I clean thoroughly my salmon before I do anything else. I clean my salmon. This is how I clean it. I use a fork and you have to be gentle. First of all, I get off all the outside dark meat and things that are not supposed to be there, the yucky stuff. Get all that off. So I'll clean everything that I can visibly see on the outside first. I like chicken of the sea, pink salmon. To me, it is the overall cleanest of the canned salmon, and it's my personal preference. So this is how I clean canned salmon that I'm going to use in any recipe. After I've cleaned off the outside with my fork, and use a fork because they can get into the crevices there easily. Then I open it up, like so. And I clean out all the bones, no bones, any membranes, anything that is not white meat, I clean it out. Salmon should be, if it's going to be anything but a whole salmon, it should be white meat. And then I put it in my bowl and I continue. All the bones. And you have to look at the salmon really good because there are little bones. Even though they're edible and you do not have to do this, a lot of cooks just dump the whole can in. But I was raised fishing and I've cleaned many a fish in my life. And the one rule is to always clean your fish. Clean your fish. You don't know what they ate. You don't know what was in them when they canned and cleaned and steamed them. So assume it's a fresh fish that you just got out of the water and you need to clean it thoroughly. And that's what I do. Okay, we're ready for the second part of the salmon patty. The first thing we're going to do is dump the salmon into a bigger bowl. When I clean my salmon, I also reserve and use the juice. I filter out all the sediment, and then I put the juice, the oil that came with the salmon back in the bowl. So that's what I do first. Then I take my spoon and I chop it up. Chop it up. Now I think I'm going to switch to the fork for that. But I'm going to chop it up like that until it's well mixed and well chopped and mashed, so that the juice and the meat become one. When you get through, it's going to look like that. All white meat. All white meat salmon. That's what you want. From there, you add the ingredients that you want. I've got the herbs and the spices. In here, I've got a little bit of Slap Your Mama, a little bit of Old Bay, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of thyme, and a little bit of lemon pepper. All that goes in. Next, I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of bell pepper. I'm using red and orange. That goes in. I also have 2 scallions, chopped. That goes in. We also have 1 egg that goes in. And last but not least, we have breadcrumbs. I have about 1/8 of a cup. That goes in. You can use crackers, you can use whatever binder you want. But I'm using Italian breadcrumbs. Then you mix it all together. Get it well mixed. Get that egg incorporated into it and all your spices while your oil is heating up. And I've got about 3/4 of a cup of oil. You can use any kind of oil you want. I'm using vegetable oil for this, but you can use any kind of oil you want. Any kind will do, except probably olive oil because of the fact that it can burn. It can burn. So that's all incorporated. That's how it looks. Now we're ready to fry our salmon patties. Okay, frying is for me, it's a little interesting. This is my grandmother's way of frying. This goes back, many, many, many decades ago. This is how I grew up watching her make her salmon patties. This is how we're going to do them today. All right, we're moving on to the stove. Okay, wash my hands, we're ready to go. We're going to the stove now. This is the procedure. Believe me, it may look quirky, but your salmon patties will be beautiful every time. You have to keep your hands moist. That's the secret. So instead of running back and forth like you can do, I just keep a small bowl of water right here so that I can continue. All right, here we go. First, you moisten your hands. Then you take your salmon patty. You just pinch around the edges until you form a solid patty with no air pockets, like so. Then you take your seasoned flour. This is salt, pepper, a little parsley. That's it. And then you drop them in. You drop them in. The reason you need the water is because you got to kind of rinse your hands off again to re-moisten. And because this is all you're doing, you're not touching anything else, you can keep going. If you touch anything else other than this, doing this procedure, wash your hands. But as long as you're just doing this procedure over and over again, you're fine. This way the flour doesn't stick to everything. Moisten your hands again. More salmon. And you keep this up until you get them all in the skillet. Your heat should be a medium-low. You need about 1/4 inch of oil in the skillet. Do not cover. Just let them do them. You dust the flour, you put them in. You dust the flour, you put them in. And you do it until you get them all in there. Doesn't take that long. Once you get the hang of it, you just keep going. And this is how my grandmother did it. This is how she did it. And her salmon patties were a favorite, especially on Sundays. And I have done the same thing. She's also done this with fish. She's done it with catfish. Whenever somebody caught a mess of catfish, or even different fish, crappie, walleye, whiting, bluegill, which is a headache, any kind of fish you want. You can always debone it and make fish patties. It's also a really, really economical way to feed a large family because depending on how much breading you use, it can stretch. In this particular recipe, I used 2 cans of chicken of the sea pink salmon. And it makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patties. 7 healthy patties. Okay, I'm back. I've taken out all the salmon patties, and this is how they look. They always will come out this way. White meat salmon patties, cleaned. And that's how I make the patties, and that's the reason they come out the same way every time. Golden brown, crispy on the outside, flaky and real light and moist on the inside. You got to try them. Miss Penny's favorite food, salmon patties. Thank you. God bless. And don't forget to share and subscribe and like. I really appreciate it. And I'm also enjoying the comments. Thank you. Bye-bye.